Now, last week we talked about Breslov, and once we started talking about it, I thought of a few other points that I should have said, and I think now we have to do part 2 of last week's lecture. Now,
which was 3 parts in itself.
Yeah, no, but these are branches of those 3 parts. It's not new parts, but it's part 2. Now, I was saying last week that in Breslov there's such a thing as divrei chizuk. That means mainly in Rab Nosson, in the Sefer Likutei Halachos, which I've seen pieces from it. I showed you last week the Kuntris Emunas Itecho, which when I was young I found it.
I have to tell you, I've been trying to tell you for a few weeks already that the Lashon that you printed up at Sarah Tzivia's wedding from Rav Tzadok HaKohen, you have to believe in yourself, is mamish the Lashon of Likutei Halachos.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's Rav Tzadok HaKohen. I think it's Os what? Kuf Nun Daled?
I think so, yeah, we talked about it.
And it's Osius Danek, and she got married.
Mm.
So, over there, Tzadok says you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah,
and,
but it's Lashon mamish.
Of Rav Nosson. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, if I have time, I'll talk about it for those that don't know what the Shomer is being Meram is here. But what I want to say is that I talked about the union of Chizuk, which, the way I see it, there's the Sefer Likutei Halachos is full of Chizuk, full of it. Mamish Keseder, Bechazik, Bechazik. And the Likutei Maran, there's a few pieces, but mainly it's brilliant, genius connections and cheshbon. That's what it is. You can't argue on it. That's what it is. Somebody once said that that's your opinion. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. I mean, I don't know. Now, somebody else just answered me that there's a safe.
Well, somebody said it's your opinion that it's only for geniuses. That is your opinion. We Breslov Chassidim hold that you're right. What you said is right, but it's for everybody. Awful PK.
No, okay. I already answered on that. The answer to that is that you read the book. What is it? It is a book for geniuses. Now, when you say it's for everybody, that's like apologizing. That kilo giving chizuk to everybody. Don't think that you're out of it, you're mufka. No, it's for you also. You can read it without understanding.
Well, that's your opinion.
You can just read it without understanding. Whoever heard of such a thing, to take a book and read it without understanding?
It says in the Zohar, so the Chidah brings it.
Yes, he found the Chidah someplace. We never heard of such a concept of reading a book without understanding. So, okay, so you have a Chidah.
First of all, that Balatani brings in Shulchan Aruch, the Torah Shebiksav. You can read and still get tremendous schar by reading the Chumash.
Yeah, everything is true. Everything you're saying.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
But we're asking, what is this? We're asking,
we agree. I also agree with you.
When you look in this book, you read it, you see, well, oh, this is for geniuses. I'm not a genius. I don't know, what does it have to do with me? So you'll answer, oh, there's a Chidah, there's a Balatanya, so it does belong to me. Okay, so I'll read it without understanding. Okay, yes, liyashiv b'dochek. Found me, I had to. Very good. Okay, that's what your Rebbe needs, to heterim. He needs all kinds of makoros to explain that he's for everybody. Okay, you want it like that, let it be like that. Now, let's go on. So that's what I said last week. But the Likutei Halachos seems to me that there's a lot of divrei chizuk. Although I'm not such a big bucky in Likutei Halachos, which is Rab Nosson's sefer, but I've seen pieces here and there, and especially this particular kundus that with a special hashgacha pratis, I found it in my younger years when I was in the Mir. And I was very mischazik from it. He talks there about how every day is an inyan in itself. I told you last week the story that I showed it to a roommate and he said, oh, this is superficial. Of course, in the Mir, nobody needed chizuk. There's only one Daniel Kaplan that needed chizuk. Everybody else, they just knew what to do. So of course he's going to say that that's superficial. Okay, let's go on. Now, I wanted to say there's another branch in this.
But this reminds me what I heard from Schneider. Once Rav Tzvi Cheshin gave a whole shir on chizuk and nishparim. Mamash machayei. I mentioned to Rav Yisrael Schneider, what does he know about it? He's a mutzlach. He said, so you don't. Yeah, he said, you don't know what it is to be a yeshiva boy in the Mir.
That you need chizuk.
Yeah, everybody needs.
Yeah. So what I want to say now, it seems to me that there's another branch of this inyan of chizuk, which is called pshitus and tamimus, which is a point that's very much stressed in Breslov. Pshitus and tamimus. It seems to me, and I'm not such a bookie in Breslov, but the strongest place where it's emphasized is the story in the Sefer. There's a Sefer called Sipurei Masiyos from the Breslov Rebbe stories, and there's a story which is Maisa Mechochem V'Tam, and this is the most understood from all the stories. That means the nimsha, or the lesson that he wants to teach. From all the 13 stories, I think that this story is the most understood. Interesting would be what numbers the story. It's Maisit Tes. Maybe there's an Indian of why Dafka
And Tes, the Maral says 9, it represents Emes.
Right, oh. Tamimus and Pshitus. Now, the story of the Chacham and the Tam is a very long story. But the point of the story is that the Tam was always besimcha and the Chacham was always be'atzvus. Now, the Breslov Rebbe is teaching us a way of life. The Tam was poor. Doesn't mean he was stupid. It means he had a way of life which was called Tamimus. And then we'll see in the end of the story is that he developed and developed until he became a Chacham himself. It could be that his Chachma wasn't so in the open. His Hanhoga was Hanhoga of Tamimus. Now, that means like this. When the story goes, part of the story is that he was a shoemaker. And he made shoes, and he wasn't such an expert, he wasn't such a mumche in his work. And he didn't make such good shoes as everybody else. Yet, his wife asked him, and he made a shoe. He used to say, he finished the job. So he said, what a wonderful shoe this is. Look how beautiful this shoe is. This is honey and sugar. He said, that's what the lashon is in this story. Mano zeh shel dvash v'tzuker. I'm sure that Rav Tzvi Cheshin would, or others would say Jerusalem, there's what's dvash and what's tzuker. Tzuker is wood, canes, and dvash is something that comes from a balchai, a chai, and a tzomech.
Maybe we have Daniel Kaplan once.
Yeah, forgive me some time, I think I could come up with something. But he praised it so much. So his wife asked him. Interesting is, it's always the wife in the story. I just now noticed it. The wife is always trying to criticize, to find something wrong. And he's excited. He made a beautiful shoe. And the shoe is, it's not, the yeshiva boys wouldn't buy it. So he says, what kind of shoe is this?
Well, maybe a Navardic they might buy.
Navardic they would buy it, all right. But we don't have Navardic anymore. So he says, so she asked him, why is it that all the other shoemakers, they take shlosha zehuvim, 3 golden coins for their pair of shoes, and you take only a chotzi toller, zov v'chetzi. You can only take half. So you got like this. Now let's try to think on our own. What would we answer in such a question? So what are you so excited for? The wife, she's always mommy movises, so you should trying to find something.
Well, not always.
Not always. No, I know my children, they're all happy, Baruch Hashem. So I'm saying like this. He's happy, he's excited, his face is shining. Women want that. Don't women want a husband that's mashpia simcha in the house? Don't they want? I think so.
That's the wrong person.
But I know from experience that they want that, and on that. So he's happy. So he's doing his duty. He's being happy. So she has to find something. No, others. The kindness from others. Others pay off. Now, what would we answer on such a thing? Start explaining that we live a simple life and we're miskenim. And let's be happy. There's a eitzah that therapists give, and that we should be happy and not, and with what we did. But he didn't even understand what she wants from him. This is the. I think that it's mamish a genius. There's two kinds of geniuses, two kinds of brilliances. There's brilliance that you say a chap. I know a certain person that's what he needs. And then there's another genius that you can, in the simplicity, you can find genius. Brilliance. This, I would say, the story of the Chacham and the Tam, it's brilliant in its simplicity. That's how I would say. Now, so she asked him, you take half of the price of everybody else.
Half, a sixth of the price, a twelfth of the price. He takes 6 gilden, he takes half a teller.
But here it says in parentheses, Zol v'chechi.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
Shlosha zu.
Oh, okay.
Don't know.
Oh, good, okay.
So he says, so he answered her, what did he answer? Mali bozeh. Zeh maise shalom. Zeh maise shalom.
It's a song, they made a song of that line.
Oh, yeah?
Is that maise? Yeah, it's very beautiful. Yisrael Dagan.
Oh. What is that? He doesn't. He's answering her as if he doesn't even know what she wants from him. What do I have to do with that? The pshat is like these. She wants he should get ahead in the race. There's a race. Who can make out better? But he doesn't know what you're talking about. Zeh ma'aseh shalom, zeh ma'aseh shalom. That's I think that with this half a line, the Breslov Rebbe defined what a tam is, what tamimus is. And then it goes on. Vod! Why should we talk about others? He says. The tam says. Hello. Okay, good. Why should we talk about others? He's saying like this. This is a big yesod that I think it's one of the very important yesodos of the Breslov Rebbe, which I would say it's a branch of the union of chizuk, and it could be that it's the most expressed in the story of the Chacham and the Tam. Now, what is that? I would explain it like this, but before I explain it, let me just show you what happened to the Chacham. It's very long, this story. I'm not going into the whole thing, but whatever, he was successful in many things. But still, he was Mole Yisurim Tomid. He always kept thinking, but what could be if I would go there? What would be if I would be a doctor or make this?
What's the Lashon of Svi Meir? Kol Masha, the Lashon you say over.
Whoever says what could have been is apikorsis. He said over from the Stalner, Rabosher Stalner, I think he said, whoever says that if it could have been this and this, that's apikorsis. That's what this good, but here the problem that the Breslov Rebbe is saying here, he doesn't call it apikorsis, he calls it chochmas. And that brings to apikorsis. And Chanam, you're right, it is apikorsis in the end. But the sharish is chochmas, and he always was saying what could have been, what could have been, what could have been, what he could have been, and he kept trying all kinds of things. He kept trying all kinds of things, and he.
Okay, Rabbi Kaplan, we'll take a break now.
Okay.